I'm gonna play a song right now, but I just wanted to warn you guys that it is the dirty version. You guys will see why in a second, but it's just a warning if anyone's like sensitive to foul language. So. Okay. Alright, so I'm pretty sure most of you have heard this song already. It's pretty popular on the radio. But how many of you have actually thought about the lyrics of this song? I'm not talking about like the whole he likes naughty girls or whatever. What I mean is, like, how many thought about like the way this song shows women in a negative light and the effects it has on young adults today. So today I'll be talking about how hip-hop music portrays women in a derogatory manner. I myself, I'm a hip-hop listener. I always go to concerts. I like rap music. I enjoy rapping. And I listen to Power 106 religiously. That's like a big hip-hop station. So, I really like music like this. And then lately I've been like, sitting back in my car and like truly like listening to these songs. And I'm just like taken back, like, wow, these songs are really insulting to women. So today I'll be identifying how hip-hop songs objectify women through their lyrics, the dancing and music videos, and the effects it has on teens today. So the first thing I want to talk about is the lyrics. Some of these songs are, there's no sugarcoating in hip-hop. Like, everything's just said boldly and clear, So I'll read the first verse of the song I just played, and it says, "Hold up, bitches simmer down, taking hella long, give it to me now, make that thing pop like a semi or 9." In these 3 lines, he already insulted women repeatedly. He's basically sounds like he's the master, like, give it to me now, and, just making commands towards women. And then he also insults them by calling her a bitch, which a bitch is a female dog, so he's basically saying women are animals instead of real people. So not only does this song just already insult women, but most hip-hop songs usually all have insulting. Most hip-hop songs you can't listen to a hip-hop song but without hearing a bad word like bitches, skanks, whores, hoes, sluts, whatever. So I was researching to see if anyone has anything to say about this, because I never thought about it like this. I was just like, oh, it's a song, cool, it has a cool beat. So I found this girl, her name's Natalie Cofield, who's actually boycotting the birthday song by 2 Chainz. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but the chorus says, "All I want for my birthday is a big booty girl." And her article is, "All I want for my birthday is all women to take a stand." So she goes on to say, "Not only did it not speak to me, but it also violated me. I watched in horror as half-naked women danced around as strippers, gave lap dances, did contortions on the street, and smiled as 2 35-year-old men ejaculated their graphic lyrics all over them." So, I was just like, wow, that's so true. And then she goes on to call them, to say it's a verbal and social assault against women, and it's, she doesn't even call them artists, but she does say it's they're not even hip-hop artists, they're prostitution performing artists. So she started boycotting this and made people sign a petition, and these are some of the things people said. "I cannot express how angry I was watching this video. It makes women feel like an object. That's not all women have to offer." And then another one said, "It's about time women take a stand against these trashy lyrics. Little girls growing up listening to this will think the only way to feel attractive is to become like the girls in the videos." And it says, we all have a responsibility to monitor what we allow in our lives, so even if others don't stand up, I'm going to take some serious change to what music I'm listening to and let my child listen to. Which brings me to my second point, which is the dancing in these music videos. And for that, I actually want to show you guys some of the dances. What do I do? Okay, this is the twerk. Hold on. Clearly this girl is just dancing with her legs up. Like, what is she doing? But anyway, she's showing more she's showing, she's like getting attention through her assets. You know, like that's just weird to me. Like, why is she doing? And then the bump and grind, you know, we're all familiar with this. This is what they do at clubs, they do at high school dances, and most of the time the girl's actually backwards, so it's even worse. And the guy sometimes even bends her over like she's her sex servant. And then there's lap dances, where girls are, you know, moving their thing for the guys. And like, this basically looks to me like it's she's a slave and she's pleasing her master. So anyway, I mean, that's what it looks like to me at least. And I asked myself, like, why are these dances so popular? They're weird and sexual and without music, they just basically be porn. So I looked up and asked, like, I put, like, why are these dances popular? And there's an article called Hip Hop, the False Advertisement of Women, where Brandon Alpert says it plain and simple: sex sells in our society. So, I mean, there's been a lot of controversy in hip hop videos. I mean, about hip hop videos. Among them, it's actually rapper LL Cool J, who actually refuses to show non-classy women in videos, claiming degradation of women in rap music videos is harming the younger generation by setting a bad example. And Essence Magazine is actually doing a campaign called Take Back Music, where they plan to address sexism in hip-hop music and regular features throughout the year. And they plan to do this by profiling women who appear in rap music videos, research the impact of these videos on teenagers, and distribute the guide that will help parents protect their children from harmful images in these offensive lyrics. And what effect do these lyrics and dancing have on young adults today? I want to show graphs. This is Emory University actually did this research. So, I mean, as you can see right here, hip-hop listeners, oh, you can't see up here. Okay, well, the violence is much greater to the people that are exposed more to, but most of these are greater to the people that are exposed to hip-hop lyrics. So, yeah, that just shows one. And then they also conducted a survey asking women what they think the effect is on them. And then, so I have a couple of women answering. They're all like between the ages of 15 to 18. So this girl, Virginia, says, I do think a lot of it sends the message that sex is okay and that using your body to get what you want is okay. And I think girls are having sex pretty early and getting pregnant pretty early. Maybe that's not just because of the videos, but I know the videos don't help the problem. And then there's another girl, her name's Liz Stifford. You can definitely see the impact, and I go to a very diverse school. But you can see the impact it has on a lot of girls. They tend to want to be more like the girls in the videos, and they don't value themselves as much. I'd say, and then another one, Chandra Sellers, I'd say it impacts the way every female sees herself. Like, they may think, I don't look or act like that, so am I good enough? I think it drops a lot of girls' self-esteem, but giving the standard of beautiful that is almost impossible to reach. So, I actually had another small video to show, but I won't. But it's actually of a little, like, 10-year-old kid rapping to, like, the song that I previously showed. And he's, like, 10 years old, and he's saying all these bad words. And I'm like, where are the parents to help this kid? Like, maybe he doesn't even know what this song means right now, but it's still subconsciously, like, in his head, you know? So anyway, I'll end it with a quote by Brandon Albert, the one that I previously talked about. It says, when children watch television and see someone throw money in the air with lots of cars and women, that image is stored in their minds as the definition of success. So basically, this music is, through their lyrics and their dancing, and have a bad effect on the generation right now. And that's it.
All right, Victoria, you were going to do the evaluation?
You had a good attention grabber with the clip or the snippet of like the music. It was organized really well. You had good cited sources. You seem very passionate about the subject, so it kept me interested and have an open mind about it. I would have preferred if you stood to the side of the podium when you were showing the videos or like the pictures instead of like going back and forth. It's good that you realized that you went over time and you explained the second video instead of showing it, but just make sure that that you don't get carried away with like the quotes like towards the end. That maybe like you could have had like one less quote from one of the girls, but it was good overall.
Okay, I want to start with the quotes from all the girls because I think that they're interesting and they illustrate the point that you're talking about. But of course, it's not really expertise that's being presented here. It's kind of their firsthand impressions. And I think it does get a little bit of credibility because it comes from women in this particular age group who are seeing these sorts of things. So I don't want to discount it entirely, but I kind of understand what she's talking about. There's a lot of that sort of thing. And there is probably some material written by people who are social critics, sociologists, anthropologists, who talk about the effect of demeaning language or images on women. And I think that one or two authoritative pieces of information to go along with all of the individual quotes, I think that would help. You did have one article, I think, that you cited that talked about it that way. I think you needed a little bit more when it comes to that. I thought that I'd agree that was probably a good choice at the end, not to give us the other clip, but to just describe it briefly because you were out of time, and that's a good editing choice. That's one of those things that you have to do as a speaker. You sometimes have to say, let me cut and run here, because I've run out of time on this particular issue. I do think, though, because you had probably anticipated doing that your exit isn't quite as smooth as it could be, because it feels a little bit like you just get to the end and it's not quite the "that's all folks" exit, but it's pretty close. That's about it, thanks, sort of thing. And I think after everything that you set up, that feels a little anticlimactic. I appreciated the warning at the beginning. I don't know what anybody's going to do, plug their ears or leave the room. Be careful about the language. But it's necessary. I thought it was appropriate given the subject matter that you're talking about. So it wasn't just done for gratuitous purposes. It wasn't done casually. It's part of what it is that you're discussing. So there's a legitimate reason for having it in the presentation. And I thought that you used your personal credibility as a way to sell this pretty well. The visuals, like I said, I think you made the right choice about cutting down at the end. I think it was a good idea to have the GIF instead of a clip of the tweet. Was it the tweet?
The twerk.
The twerk.
Yeah.
That's a little weird, I don't know what the hell's going on there and why, but I understand. And the visuals of the different dance things that are going on and how that's an essential part of hip-hop culture. I think that's something that you need to talk a little bit more about, but the visualizations were pretty clear there. On delivery, you do a good job talking to us for the most part. Occasionally you're looking down because you're looking at notes, and I think you've got that podium. I don't know that you need the podium. It's just, it becomes a crutch because you kind of keep going back to it.
Like moving the paper, so I just I wanted to avoid that today.
Okay, well, and the other thing is, let's get rid of the paper. You can always use the index cards, and fewer index cards, the fewer the better, is usually the way to go. We're gonna talk about some delivery things, and that'll be one of those tips for you. All right, thank you.